Hello, good evening. Welcome back to Send Him Off. My name is Sam, and joining me, as always, is my ever-present podcasting partner, Alex. How you doing?
Good. Excited. Very excited. This is the premiere of, what is it? Rant Him Off. Are we calling it Rant Him Off?
Rant Him Off, we're calling it.
Rant Him Off. Welcome. He says good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whenever you're listening to this. Welcome to the premiere of Rant Him Off. And we are joined by two of our favourite guests, two returning heroes, two legends. Sam, do your thing.
Well, in one corner, we've got West Ham fan and black cab driver, Trevor Bickles. How you doing, Trevor? Thank you for joining us again.
No, pleasure to be here, lads. Absolute pleasure.
And in the other corner, the Spurs corner, if you like, we've got Dick and Dom in the Bungalow legend. Lee Barnett is joining us.
It's crazy
again.
He's coming back. It's crazy.
I can't believe we've got him again.
Glutton for punishment.
His pleasure.
It is always a pleasure. And we're going to get into the nitty gritty of your pet peeves, what do you always say?
Bugbears.
That's the one I was thinking of.
That's the one.
What do you want to put in Football Room 101? If you could lock something away forever and never have it returned to the game, what would you choose? So basically, how we're going to do this is Trevor and Lee are going to give one example each. They're going to debate it. We're all going to discuss it a little bit. And then me and Alex are going to decide which of those two things are going to go in Room 101. We're not sure how many turns we'll get through, but we'll just see. We'll just see how this goes. This is a completely new format, and we're just,
I'm very excited.
I was going to say throw caution into the wind, but, we could be pissing into the wind, to be fair. We don't know how this is going to go, but it could go either way.
It's going to be that.
It
could in about 30 minutes' time, we'll all find out, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. So shall we start with Lee? What is your first pet peeve?
I mean, I've got a few. In fact, when I was trying to work out 5, I don't know if you had the same issue, Trevor, but I kind of got stuck, and then I went off on one in my head with all these things that, I think probably the one of many things, diving. It's this sort of I get it, playing the game, but it's just this swan diving. It's this, it's this elaborate
extravagance.
And I also, when I mean is that it's like, you get something in the stomach or arm, and it's like, it's that, and it's just, we don't need it you don't need it in the game. These are tough guys. Why is it in all these other sports, rugby, American football maybe it's not a sport, but that's another but why is it that you get pummeled and punched and it's a hard contact sport, and you don't see them sort of flying away from things and leaping like a Klinsmann roll? I just think we don't need it in the game. We just don't need it in the game.
Is diving a foreign import?
Yes.
Yeah.
It
goes back to the Klinsmann days.
See, I was the Klinsmann role, bless him.
Bless him.
But you
God
don't
love him,
go rolling over 4 or 5 times. It's and I think what's happened is that referees, I'll come on to them later, get sucked into it. And what happens is more and more people do it, and then you kind of get this vicious circle where if you think, I need to go down, and it's not so much going down if there's contact, it's the blatant when there's no one around you and you just leap and you fall over. That's what I can't stand. I think there's a little line between having one hand on you, silver, something like that. That's I think the other side of diving, but it's just when there's only air around you or there's no contact and you just dive. And to me, that's not part of the game. Do you know what?
For me, there's an element of it which is sort of gamesmanship these days.
I was about to say that.
Little bit of it. Not when they, like you said, there's nobody touching them and they go down. But when a player goes into the box, sometimes they go into the box.
You're taking the words out of my mouth. Goodbye.
Play for a foul, and it's just become part of the game these
days.
I've
been guilty though.
Foul. So go on.
No, I've been good. I've been stood in the stands at Swans. I've been stood in the stands, and they've run into the box, whoever it might have been, run into the box, And
it won't be Swansea players, though, will it?
No, it certainly wouldn't have been any recent Swansea players, at least. Back in the day, they would have run into the box and they would have had a bit of a contact, and he would have stayed on his feet. And I would have been screaming and just go down, go down, go down. So I'm just as bad. I'm part of the problem, I feel. Am I part of the problem?
If you can count it as different, that's where I kind of I don't count that as the same, because I believe that's part of the game. If you're getting through and you've managed to get through, but a player has put enough force or physical contact on you that they shouldn't do there because they know what's going to happen, then I think you have a small right to go down because it stopped you doing what you're doing. But it's just the air, and it's just the overreaction, and it's just the diving. And I think it should just be stopped. I think they should be either sin binned or something, but it just needs, because it all goes down to grassroots, and they all do it. Yep. They all do it, and it just. Yeah.
There we are.
Gareth Bale said something a couple of years ago, though. I remember when he was at Madrid, he was getting a fair bit of stick for it, and he was saying, "I'm running at this speed. He's quite a big guy, like he's well built. If he goes down with contact, it's safer for him to go down than take the contact."
Yes, but I think we also, I think most of us have common sense, and we're not even professionals, and we're not referees. And that a lot of the time you do actually have to go up to, if someone like Noble or someone like that is coming in, for a challenge, and it's a good solid challenge, you've got to get out of the way. And if you know that if they make contact with you, it's gonna do damage, you've got to get out of the way. But it's this blank when there's no one around you, when you've just gone through and you're sort of going, oh, like that, and it's I can't stand it.
Lee doesn't like that.
He hasn't.
Not
He's
at
put his
all.
case out quite well for that.
He
one.
really has.
Trev,
very good argument.
What have you got?
Well, I'll see you're diving, and I'll raise you with fans with them banners asking for t-shirts.
Oh my God! Yes. This is my pet hate. I cannot stand it.
I mean, firstly, it's begging. All right, turn it in. Stop the begging. Right, don't do it. If you're a parent of the child, you need a slap. Basically, tell your child, behave yourself. Put that banner down. It's not WWE. We don't have banners up in football. Please stop that. I find it cringe. And what's even worse, kids. I can give away slightly. When I've seen pictures of men in their sort of 50s and 60s with this sign, I'm like, get a grip of yourself.
Yeah, I know.
Get a grip of yourself. Put that down. Behave yourself. It's football. Stop it. Basically, just stop it.
I've got no argument with that.
Stop it.
Diving is a serious problem, but signs is where I draw the line. I will.
I was actually going to hold that back because I thought you guys would like that one. Sorry, apologies. Go.
No, I am completely on board with that.
It's always Grealish or Rashford.
Yeah. Or our one's Rice, Declan Rice.
Oh, Declan Rice. Can I have your shirt? Yeah.
But of course, ours it's going to be Son. It's just going to. It's like.
No, you're just Tottenham's the other way. Though. It's like, please keep it. Don't
don't want keep it as far away from you.
Give me your shirt. Go away.
No, I completely agree with you. It blows my blood. Oh, the camera's off.
Lee switch his case had none of it.
No, but I got to admit that's I haven't actually got much of an argument with that, because it's one of these. It's another import, isn't it? It's not maybe a foreign import, but it's a fad, isn't it? And people just like you say, it's begging.
Yeah, it's begging. Yeah.
Yeah. My dad won't buy me a shirt. Can you buy me one, please?
Could I have you, Wes, please?
Oh,
I get it when it's at the end of the game and they're having a chat and this a few children or like somebody who might want the shirt for whatever reason, I don't know, and they speak to them after, but don't bring it in the stadium. Don't.
They should be banned at the gate.
Yeah. Yeah,
is that coming in with you? Yeah, right. No, you're not. Sorry.
No, yeah. And you're banned for 3 matches.
Yeah.
You're getting a 3-match ban.
Straight red. Straight red.
Yeah, Dad can come in. But the kid can't.
No, he can go.
I think it's the way around. I think the kid should be banned for 3. And the parent should be banned for 2.
You go back to the tube station. Make your own way home, son.
Yeah.
I think the parents are worse than the kid because it's never the kid. I guarantee none of those.
Yeah,
kids
you
have
know,
gone,
he's
"Hey,
like,
Dad."
oh,
None of
go
the
on,
kids have
son.
gone,
I don't want a
"Dad,
shirt, Dad. I don't
Get
like
it, dude.
call
Make a
them. Make the sign. Make the sign. I don't want a shirt. Make the sign.
Or you can imagine a kid going, Dad, I really want a Harry Kane shirt. Look, make a little sign, stand by the edge of the pitch, you'll get one for free. I'm not paying for that. I'm not paying for those shirts. All right.
Definitely. Alex, we've first decision of the night. What are we going to put in?
Do you know what?
101?
Diving is a horrible, horrible import, and because it is an import, let's face it, and nobody wants diving in the game. However, if you ever catch me with a sign that says, "Oh, so and so, can I have your shirt?" Put me down. So for that reason, Trevor, I'm gonna have to side with you, my friend.
I agree with you. I'm putting.
It's all right.
Any other day, diving would have won that. Trust me, any other day. But you just came on the wrong day, Lee.
Wrong day. Wrong day.
Wrong day, wrong time.
In all fairness, though, I do agree with the diving one. If you see Yarmolenko's dive against Kidderminster the other day, I could totally.
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, totally agree with you. Got to get it going with it.
Did you ever see that one? Sorry, the one they did it on Match of the Day. It was hysterical. It was one of the it was either Aubameyang or it was and he went over and like he was screaming. It was before.
Oh yeah, I did see.
I've not seen that one.
Oh right, have a look on YouTube because at the end of it, it was Gary Lineker, Ian Wright, and whoever it might have been Shearer or someone. And at the end, they did a whole anyway. You know, it's thanks, good night from us, and they all went over because it was just. It was awesome. I think it was Aubameyang went over, rolled over, screamed like he'd just been taken out by an elephant rifle in the stands. It was just, but yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Next, gentlemen. Next.
So eloquently put. Trev,
exactly.
You'll go now. You go
right.
first.
This is a person. This man needs to go. He drives me mental. Transfer windows. He drives me. Jim White. Get rid of the man.
Jim White.
Jim White.
On now, though, isn't he?
I think he is. He's in and around, but not.
No, he needs to go. Right, the man talks utter rubbish. Right, he doesn't talk any sense. It's all if, buts, and maybes. If you listen to him on TalkSport, he drives me absolutely insane, and it annoys me because I like Simon Jordan. So I like to listen to Jordan, but almost curse at the radio at Jim White. he seems to have this kind of. He's like everywhere. He's like involved in everything, but just he's got his finger in too many pies. I can't stand the man. To Jim White.
Why?
That's an interesting one.
Yeah,
that's an interesting
one. I thought he was
Jim White. Don't like him.
I thought Jim White was quite well thought of. You know, the king of transfer deadline day.
I think it's what it is. He just always. I don't like his reporting a bit. Like, let's speak from a West Ham point of view. If West Ham win, he doesn't say a word. If West Ham lose, he will spend about 2 hours talking about how Declan Rice is going to Man United. And it's like, mate, stop stirring the pot on Declan Rice leaving. Talk about something else. And the man just infuriates me. So Jim White.
You know what? This is why we started, because I don't know anybody maybe somebody else, but hardly anybody else would have said Jim White needs to go.
No,
Jim White needs to go.
Can't stand it. Like I say, it's just a small little bugbear in mine. But every time I listen to it, I'm like, oh, shut up, mate. Oh, shut up, Jim.
Do you know, it's so lovely when you speak to other fans, because ultimately we're all humans. We're all, we just support our team, but we have these people that for some reason they're just always, they're so, oh God, it's like you're talking crap and now it's like, just go. I don't know what you're doing here. Just leave us alone. We'll deal with it. We'll deal with it all.
Go away, Jim. Yeah. Just go away. Go away, Jim.
Mine is Jermaine Genius.
Really?
I don't like him.
He's got a thing for Jermaine. He goes in.
No, I haven't got a thing for him. I don't like him. It's
certainly
not
got a thing for him.
It's the complete opposite of having a thing for him.
It's almost like an aggressive sort of twitch every time you see him and stuff.
Oh no, he's turning off when it comes on commentary. No, thanks.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, like I say, it's a weird one. Not many people look like Jim White's right. I'm like, no, he ain't. He talks rubbish. He talks out. He just.
Go on, sorry.
No. So he just. And it's a bit of a bitter West Ham thing now. Obviously, when West Ham were going through the sort of trials and tribulations over the ground, he was, let's say, stirring the pot, and he knew what he was doing because he's very good friends with Golden Sullivan. And I thought, mate, you are literally stirring the pot the way you're not reporting, you're just stirring the pot. That's all you're doing. And I've just ever since then I've just developed this.
Ever since then, it's been a thing.
It's been a beef, pure beef with Jim White. I just no, go away.
Is that a West Ham thing? Have West Ham just got in for Jim? Is he not allowed near that part of London now? Do you think?
I wouldn't say he's not allowed. I know he didn't go down too well when we was going through a lot of the troubles with like the stadium and stuff like that. And because he's very good mates with Golden. I think it's David Sullivan. He's mates with, and he was asking he was saying stupid things like, so you've moved to a brand new stadium. All right, they've not bought any players. All right, they've not invested properly in the ground. All right, you haven't walked a million miles away. But what do West Ham fans want? And you're like, it's like we want to be just treated like fans, mate. You know what I mean? And I think that's why the man, get rid of him. Get shot at Jim White.
Jim White's got to go. There we go.
Jim White's got to go. Lee, can you counter?
How can you counteract Jim White?
Well, you see, it's fascinating. But it's a similar sort of thing with me. And if I could maybe have like half each, I was just going to go down the Graham Souness and Gary Neville.
Oh, right.
Because they have this thing with Tottenham. It's the same. You say the thing with Jim White, but the bias and some of the Graham Souness, we could beat Barcelona. We're down to 9 men, and he'd still sort of slag us off. It's luck. Barcelona were awful, and he's never, ever got a good thing to say. And it's the same with Neville. And honestly, he comes out with stuff. And I know I drop a few F-bombs when I'm watching the football with my kids, and it's probably not the best thing in the world to do, but they come out with it's like, why do they hate us so much? I just don't get it. I don't understand.
One thing about Graham Souness,
and he's a bloody hypocrite.
Go on, no, carry on.
No.
Here we go.
There's a burst of life there all of a sudden.
Look, we all know, well, we've all seen him play back in the day. He might wear a suit now, looks all gentleman-like. That guy, the last thing he ever was, a gentleman when it came to football. And he's just so anti-Tottenham. It's just Rio Ferdinand, love. He's one. I think he's superb. I think he speaks well when clubs deserve it, when players deserve it, and when they don't, he speaks badly. But I feel he's very fair in his commentary and his punditry, if that is a word, probably not, but I don't care. But Graham Souness and Gary Neville,
that's a good shout. Actually, that's a good shout.
Fantastic points.
If you've gone, Lee, with just Souness,
Graham Souness,
I would have completely agreed with you. I quite like Gary Neville personally.
I didn't say I was going to have the two.
Here we go.
It's a language thing. Maybe you didn't understand. What I said was,
this is the annual leave negotiations, but,
yeah, but definitely Graham Souness. Out of the two, he is definitely the worst. I will say, Trevor, next time, now that I've said that, please promise me the next time, say a Spurs match. I mean, he might even be commentating tonight. Just listen to Graham Souness. He will not say anything. Oh no, lucky. He's just
Well, until then, I will do that for you. But the next time West Ham lose, listen to the amount of times Jim White will say the words, "Well, Declan Rice off to Man United. When's he going to go to Manchester? Is he going to go? I think he should. Declan, just leave. Go now, as quick as you can. Don't stay. Just go. Just listen. Listen to the amount of times he says that. All right."
One thing I think Graham Souness dislikes more than Tottenham, perhaps, is Mr. Paul Pogba, of course.
Always.
Even if Tottenham lose to Barcelona, win against Barcelona, Pogba's got to be doing more than that for me, I'll be honest with you.
Alan Hansen,
was he? Why? Yeah, no, that was a bit Alan Hansen. It was a little bit.
It's quite a good Alan Hansen, to be fair. Souness is a dusty baller, and he's gone like he's a
dusty baller.
Yeah,
I like it.
He is a poor man's Roy Keane. That's the way I see it. He's a poor man's Roy Keane.
Oh, don't even start on Roy Keane.
Well, let's not.
Just stick with Graham Souness for now.
Right,
Sam. I think
Jim White
or
Souness.
Jim White. After explaining everything about Jim White, I can see your point, and we've had our fair share of. We haven't had a penalty this season.
No.
Swansea.
Yeah.
So that we could say a lot about referees. I'm sure Lee said you will get onto the referees later. I can see your point. However, Graham Souness just slaps me in the face
Yeah.
all the time.
I'll admit that. I'll take that one. Yeah.
Also,
It's nice, isn't it? West Ham, Tottenham fans all getting on. It's good.
Yeah.
Just would have thought.
It's a healing process. This is.
Yeah.
Nice. It's like group therapy.
Behind the
last one. We'll do one more last one. So,
go on.
Trevor, go first.
I'm going to say the one thing that no one's mentioned yet, and I was going to keep it up, but VAR.
It was on my list.
No.
I'm not going to use it, but it was on my list. But I've been
VAR is, to me, it's not used properly. I actually like what I watched an interview with Jose Mourinho once, and I thought what he said was perfect. All it needs. It just needs a camera by the side of the pitch, similar to American football. If the referee's not sure, go, give me a second, lads. He runs over, checks the screen, makes a decision, goes. Job done, end of. None of this two-line here. All of a sudden it's turned into some sort of sort of project of lines and graphs and bar charts and pie charts and Venn diagrams and, stand up there having a sort of speech about it. No, just no. Don't like it. Get rid of it.
I don't know whether any of you are rugby fans. I don't know whether any of you watch rugby. We've had Sam's a big rugby fan. We've had one of our friends came on, and he's a rugby referee in grassroots rugby, and he was talking about TMO, how they use TMO. If VAR was the same as TMO, we would have no problem at all. It would be so simple. The referee would go over, or even to the monitor, and he can do his own little thing, or somebody would say in his ear, it was a penalty, it was a red card, it wasn't a red card, it wasn't a penalty. There we are, thank you very much, and we'll get on with the game. There's no need to go and start, like you said, the Pythagorean theorem and all that nonsense. And it was his fingernail up, it might have been, let's zoom in a little bit. It doesn't matter. It's not important. Just get on with it. Just play. He's wound me up. Trevor's wound me up. I'm going to stop there.
This just becomes a sort of, doesn't matter about mine. I want to go on with that. And just because it does it could be brilliant. VAR could be brilliant if it's used correctly. It's not used.
Yes.
I mean, I'm hoping that, in a season or two, it does. I mean, one of the things, you're saying with VAR is like some of these cup competitions, you've got at the lower part of the competitions when you've got teams from all over the place, they don't have the facilities for VAR. So there are decisions that won't be going their way because there's no VAR. But then later on in the competition, when the same clubs are back, they've been playing them, they're now playing back there, they'll get decisions their way because VAR is helping them, but it hasn't helped people. And it's just, there's no consistency in it. And it's...
Another thing that winds me up with it as well is that you've gone from having one ref to potentially four. Now you've got one ref and you've got, is it Stockley Parker? Have you got something like that?
Yeah,
you've got
Stockley Park, yeah.
It's still someone there making the decision. How many times have you watched or listened to the radio or watched the telly and then complain about the VAR ref was wrong? So it's
because it's a human. It's a human.
But I'm saying it's wrong either way. Yeah, so you're either going to have wrong in Stockley Park or wrong on the pitch. Yeah. Either way, it's a completely pointless exercise. It just needs a telly by the side of the pitch. Referee, go and have a little look. Yeah, someone's got a phone out, someone's got a banner, get rid of them, and then what we'll do, we'll continue. We've spotted someone, get rid of them, and then we'll just continue the game. Simple as that. Yeah. Job done.
For me, the worst thing about VAR is that you can't celebrate a goal anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, it's where. Yeah. Hang on.
Wait a minute.
Hang on a minute.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can.
And then the life gets sucked out of it then.
Yes. 100% agree.
Completely agree. Lee, what's your last?
So back on politics again. No.
Oh wait, no.
I'm only kidding. Ooh. It's people that leave games early for no reason.
This was the
So have I. It has. In all the years I have gone, and I do still have a season ticket, but I've been doing my kitchen extension. So I haven't really been able to. It's a very large, No,
I can imagine.
The bungalow money's coming in, is it, Lee?
Well, it is. I mean, is 100 square meters big for an extension? I don't know. 2 stories.
You can tell.
It's not. But when I used to go, and you get like an 85 minutes. And this is back, people would be leaving. So, I wanna miss the traffic. Why? What's that extra 50 minutes gonna mean? And you work it out if you priced goals, so if you're saying, I'm talking about matches, that are a prime example then. So my middle son, his first ever match I took him to was Spurs West Ham at the proper White Hart Lane, the old White Hart Lane. And we were 2-0 down. It was 85 minutes and you've got everyone leaving. And we won 3-2.
Yeah.
You know, why do you leave? You've got 5 minutes of normal time, plus we knew there was at least another 4 or 5 minutes of added on with Fabianski clearing his boots on the post 100 times because, you know, had so much.
I will have no bad words about Lucas Fabianski in this podcast.
Flappy Hansky, you know,
my special man.
Yeah, well, yeah, special. You know, and it was all the time, anyway, whatever. But you know, the ref was going to add that on. So, you know, you've got a good 9-10 minutes left of a derby match. You know, something's going to happen. So why leave? Why are you going?
Yeah,
I've never left early and I never will. Don't care.
Can I tell you a very quick story? When I used to go over West Ham with my dad in the new stadium, we used to sit in front of this crowd of this sort of family, right? And there was an old boy there. And he had this thing when every time, if West Ham conceded a goal, no matter what minute it was, he would leave. And I'm not even joking you. It could be 15 minutes in, he would get up and go. And they'd be like, he's not staying, is he? He went, no. And he'd just go. And I'm like, are you like, they're mental? And I'm not joking you, right? If West Ham conceded, he'd just go. It would just go. He's like, I'm not staying here.
If you price goals, you know, if you're paying, say, £1,000 for a season ticket and your team scores, I don't know, say whatever, you know, 200 goals a season, whatever, but you leave and you miss 50 of those goals, it's mind-boggling.
I've done it once. I'm ashamed to say I was a young whippersnapper, if you will, and I was watching the Swans. This was before I had my season ticket. Swans were playing Aston Villa, and it was sort of, we were 1-0 down, 88th minute, I think 85th, 88th, something like that. And me and my mate and my mate's father, I don't know what, Nick said, well, let's just leave. We've had enough. We were walking outside and we heard this almighty roar from inside the stadium. And we thought, oh no. Somebody came running out. We've scored. So we ran back in. And from that day on, I said, I don't care if we are 10-0 down in the 90th minute. I will stick it. Even last night, Swansea were playing 3-0 down. And I stuck it out and I watched it because you never know. And do you know what?
My brother did that with Tottenham. You know, when we were 4-2 down. He was in one of the boxes, 4-2 down, 85 minutes, whatever. The guy said, come on, we're going. My brother's like, no, it's 85. You know, nah, come on, we're 4-2 down. Let's just, come on, we're going, Joe. Oh, they walk out, get to the top of the stairs, cheer. Someone goes, oh, Tottenham have got a third. My brother's like, oh, come on, we're going. Get to the bottom of the stairs. Jermaine Genius, wasn't it, scored fourth? You know, just why leave? They should be banned. They should be stopped. Unless it's an emergency, you're sitting in your seat.
You paid for it and you're going to use it. Yeah. All right.
Put them outside in that long line of people that's outside the stadium now. Trevor has his way as well. So there we are. We've got, was it VAR? Yeah.
VAR.
Yeah.
And people who
leaving early. I'm going to actually leap to the defense of VAR here. I don't like it. I don't think it works currently, but we were talking about TMO in rugby. I think that came in 1992, I want to say.
As early as that?
It is perfect now. It is perfect.
How long did it take, out of interest? How long did it take to get perfect?
I'm not sure 20, exactly.
30 years, but
a fair while. It's put it this way. I've been watching rugby since I was about 6 or 7, and I can't remember a time where TMO hasn't worked. Like, I can't really remember many decisions.
Yeah, but you're only about 4 anyway, aren't you?
So I think with time, the creases will be ironed out, and we'll get a system that works, possibly. So for me,
early.
Do
you know what, Trevor? You've had a stormer today, pal. You really have. VAR is not perfect. We all know this. However, based on what I did at that Aston Villa game when I was but a young lad, Lee, you have taken this one. What's the score? Is it 2-2?
I don't know, mate, to be honest. Should we
call
it a nice draw? Because we'll
call it an equal draw. Well done, gentlemen.
I'm good with that. I'm good with the draw because I've got to say, Trevor, mate, you both of those that you came out with, I was a bit like, or most of them, I was like, Oh wow! Oh god, he's done well there.
Ironically, the ones that you've come out with, I've also got on my list.
Well,
so,
I had other things like overpriced kit for kids.
There's a solution there, and just take a sign at the end of the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
easy.
It's almost
20,000 of them.
I see. I also had pointless transfer rumours. You only go online.
I think that was from the Jim White, wasn't it? You thought Jim White, do you know what?
No, but because it's the whole media thing. It was the whole, you know, when everyone was saying, well, Traore and the other chap, you know, oh God, Barcelona took our man. No, he was always going to go. It was never a thing, but the media make it. And all to my friends and everyone's like, oh, have you heard he might be coming? He might be getting... Listen, until that clock goes dong, just don't know. Don't listen. I don't care, you know.
The thing is, in January, especially with us, in January, ours was going overdrive, right? I won't keep talking. But basically, we were getting stuff like, we were linked with players. But if you actually read it, it would be West Ham linked with, I don't know, let's just say Balotelli, for example. And it'd be... But you're linked with Balotelli. What's actually saying he might come to us, possibly, maybe we don't know. They've not actually spoke to his agent yet or approached the player, but there's a minuscule tiny chance. And it's just a completely pointless story, right? And it just winds me up. It's like, until I see that person standing there holding a shirt or signing a contract, I'm not interested, basically.
There we
little extra.
I was going to say...
Sorry, you just went off on one then. Sorry.
No, that's all right. No, for those of you who stuck around, who didn't leave, just at the 85th minute, those who didn't leave early, you had 2 extra little bonus ones there. So enjoy them.
Well, thank you both for joining us. It's been
a pleasure
as always.
Really
always a pleasure, gentlemen.
Thank you. That's really good.
A fun discussion. Let us know on Twitter. What are your
please get involved.
Bugbears?
Who did you agree with? Who did you disagree with?
Yeah.
Who won? Who do you think won?
Let's have a bit of a debate.
Yeah, go on.
Anyway, thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week with something. I can't remember what. But thank you both for joining us. Alex, pleasure as always. And
Sam,
thanks.
Go on, Spurs.
Come on, Spurs, he says, and the Irons. Up the Irons. And the Swans. Come on, the Swans.
Why not?
I also did actually have Arsenal in one of my pet hates, which you probably would have gone with me, but next time.
There we are. Maybe next time. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next week.
Cheers.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.